In this segment, Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, they're going to talk about Mike D'Antoni comments that James Harden is the best offensive player in the league, and he said not only the best offensive player in the league, but he's the best offensive player he's ever seen. And Stephen A. and Max Kellerman are going to talk about that, and I will put my commentary on it and what do I think about it.
Tony is making it official. He says James Harden is the best offensive player he's ever seen. Fellas, do you even think he's the best offensive player in the league right now, Stephen A.?
Let me stop it right there. No, I do not think James Harden is the best offensive player in the league right now. I'm not going to even touch on all time. I'm not going to even do that to James Harden, but I'm going to say this. Kevin Durant, to me, is the best offensive player in the league as far as him being able to get his shot off on anyone, creating space, and rising over the top of any player because he's 7 feet and he has handle to get past any player. He can post up. He can hit the mid-range. He can hit free throws. He can hit the three. So to me, I got Kevin Durant. I know people have a list. I know some people say Kyrie. Kyrie is a dynamic offensive player, but one thing that's different between KD and Kyrie, KD is 7 foot. KD can rise over the top of anyone without creating space. In a lot of instances, especially when taller players, rangier players, longer players are guarding Kyrie and Steph Curry for that matter. Steph Curry is a brilliant offensive player. Those guys need to create some space, some daylight. Now, I'm not saying they need a lot of daylight, but they need some daylight. KD needs no daylight. All those guys can shoot free throws. All those guys can shoot threes. All those guys can shoot mid-range. And another thing KD got over those two, KD can post up effectively. Those guys only can post up guys that are smaller. KD can post up anyone in the league.
Well, first of all, right now, I'm not going to say that. I mean, when I look at LeBron James, the complete package that he comes to mind. But I would give Harden the edge over a lot of guys.
I wouldn't put LeBron James in that category. LeBron James is a great player. We all know that. But LeBron James has holes in his game. Post up. He doesn't post up, to me, enough. Another thing, his jump shot is still a liability to me. You can still play off of him and feel comfortable playing LeBron James in that way. You cannot play off of Steph or even Durant or even Kyrie and feel comfortable.
I wouldn't give him the edge over Kevin Durant. And all time, I certainly wouldn't give him the edge over Kobe or MJ. And I'm going to emphasize Kobe and MJ.
Well, I'm not going to go all time because he's not the best all-time offensive player. I got Michael Jordan is the best offensive force I have ever seen. He was dangerous on every part of the floor. I know people will say, well, why are you not going to say Shaq and why are you not going to say, people like, why are you not going to say Shaq? Why are you not going to say people like Kareem, guys like that of that ilk? It's because of this. Kareem only played from 15 feet in. Jordan played from the 5 feet in all the way to the 3-point line. So Michael Jordan, to me, he was more dangerous all around the whole court. Now you can say Shaq is the most dominant because he was the most unstoppable in the post. He just was so big and a big guy, girthy guy that was so powerful. He was hard to stop in the post. But to me, Michael Jordan is the most complete. I mean, look at his footwork. I remember that fadeaway. I remember when he first started doing the fadeaway in post up down low. Jordan is probably the best post up guard of all times. And I kept rewinding his footwork in the post because his footwork is immaculate. Jordan has the most. Another thing about Michael Jordan, his fundamentals were so impeccable. His fundamentals were right on base. He worked from whoever taught him basketball, which he had a good coach, college coach, and Dean Smith, taught him the fundamentals of basketball. He went from fundamentals because he had the other things as far as speed, quickness, and jumping ability, but his fundamentals set him apart from a lot of guys that were his height or below his height.
For a particular reason, I think both were capable of averaging 30 inside or out with their back to the basket, mid-range game, whatever the case may be. James Harden had a better long-range game.
And I understand Wilt Chamberlain has a lot of records, a lot of offensive records and things of that nature. He scored 100 points. But like I said with Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain, like Kareem, 5 feet to about a 15 foot, maybe 18 feet. They were really, really effective. But like I said, Jordan from 5 feet on down the 3-point line in 12 22 feet and all of that, 25 feet. He was more dangerous than those guys.
I think that isolation-wise, he's absolutely sensational. You hang on his left.
And that's another thing, isolation-wise. Jordan was the best one-on-one player in the game. Period. The game has ever seen. Jordan was the best one-on-one player the game has ever seen. I'll say I'll put Kobe in that category. I mean, he's below Jordan, but I'll put him in that category. You know, a couple other players. I'll put Kevin Durant in that category. It's hard to stop Kevin Durant one-on-one. LeBron James also, it's hard to stop him from one-on-one as far as him going to the basket. He's a very strong guy.
It could be problematic for him because even though he can use his right, he's not as ambidextrous as you would like him to be. It's just that, as a southpaw, Max can speak about this from a boxing analogy. It's hard when you're going up against a southpaw.
James Harden does, I have to say, he does have probably the best step back in basketball. With that step, I still think it's traveling, man. I'm still looking at it. Because you establish your pivot foot after you dribble, then you get to move. You can't move your pivot foot again. I was told you cannot move your pivot foot after you establish your pivot foot. And a lot of those guys doing it. I seen Dwayne Wade doing it too. Kyrie does it too. LeBron does it. It's like the new thing. I think it's traveling. I'm looking at it a little bit more, but it looks like traveling to me. But it's a great move to get space. And James Harden. Unlike Jordan, I don't see no post-up game with James Harden. I see 0 points post-up game.
Because it's unfamiliar territory to you, and James Harden is that guy. But I certainly wouldn't put that in. I wouldn't put him as number one. I'd put Kevin Durant above him.
Yeah, he's probably the best left-hand player I've seen. Ginobili is real good too, but yes, James Harden probably is. I'm trying to think of some other lefties, but James Harden is probably the best left-hand player I've seen.
I would kind of put him above LeBron James from the standpoint of his three-point shot and his reliability at the free throw line.
I say him and LeBron James kind of cancel each other out. LeBron James has a better post-up game than Harden. I see no post-up game with Harden, but Harden does have a better mid-range and a better three than LeBron James. So I say they kind of fairly close. I mean, you could get a tiebreaker to Harden.
James' three-point shot and his reliability at the free throw line are suspect to be compared to James Harden. But I wouldn't say that about Kevin Durant, and that's why I wouldn't put him above Kevin Durant.
That's why I say Kevin Durant got it all. Kevin Durant he can go past you, finish with the dunk, finish with the layup. He can post you up. He can hit the mid-range. He can hit the three. He can hit free throws. He has it all. Pull up three. He can the standstill three, the dribble three, all of it. He has it all, and he's 7 foot tall, man. You can't teach 7 foot tall. I don't care what you say.
Ridiculous to call him the best offensive player of all time. He's Mike.
I mean, that's what I said. It's ridiculous to call him the best offensive player of all time. I know Mike D'Antoni has. I mean, he pumping up his player. It's good that he letting James Harden know that he thinks what he thinks of him, but. No, he's not even the best offensive player right now, let alone in history. But that's what I want to say. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.